savings. Maybe now is the time to make the switch, like more than 400,000 people already have, and start saving. Here it is. It's 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE, 877-26-BIBLE.
Oh, we've made it to the hump of the week. Happy hump day. Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk. I got a big announcement to make. A little bit later on, we'll do that, but we've got plenty of other things to tackle. Everything from the council roundup and Wednesday. It's an edition of the show where we've got a review of what happened at last night's Springfield City Council meeting, which actually was probably the shortest meeting in quite some time. But we'll definitely tell you everything that happened. Plus, we've got some latest comments from Governor J.B. Pritzker about immigration and seeming to say that, yeah, we should be deporting people. It kind of appears to go against the spirits of the state's law that says local law enforcement aren't to cooperate with federal immigration law. So we'll get to that as well. But up next, we've got to tackle the latest in litigation against gun laws. Ninth Circuit had a ruling yesterday. You've got a hearing in the Southern District of Illinois today. Plus, the first week of firearm registration numbers are out, and it's less than 1% of all FOID card holders who've registered thus far. Granted, it's only been 7 days. Stay tuned. All of that on the way. I'm Greg Bishop, 6:04 on WMAY.
News.
Weather.
92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story, Dorothy Hoffner is dead at the age of 104. The Chicago woman made news 10 days ago when she took a skydive that could put her in the Guinness Book of World Records as the oldest person to ever jump from a plane. According to reports, she died in her sleep Sunday night at the Lakeview Senior Living Community in Brookdale. Springfield Mayor Misty Buscher announced yesterday that the city of Springfield won a federal grant of nearly $900,000 from the U.S. Forest Service to plant 1,000 trees and to hire a community outreach arborist and 3 student worker arborists during the summer months over a 5-year period. Mayor Buscher said the tree planting funds and money for outreach staff are particularly important to the city after several hundred trees were damaged by storms earlier this year. Illinois Senator Dick Durbin's office announced that he underwent a successful total knee replacement surgery for his left knee. The procedure was performed Tuesday morning at Rush in Oak Brook, Illinois. Durbin will remain in Illinois until he is cleared for travel to Washington by his doctor. Monday was Indigenous Peoples Day in most of the country, where Native Americans celebrate their histories and cultures with events in all 50 states. In Augusta, Maine, several hundred people rallied outside the State House in support of a November 7th statewide vote that would restore language about the state's obligations to Native American tribes to printed versions of its Constitution. Illinois and Missouri celebrate the holiday at the end of September. The Illinois Department of Children and Family Services provides free smoke alarms to families served by the department. DCFS has distributed more than 4,000 smoke alarms to families across Illinois, including nearly 900 this year. Illinois law requires every household to have smoke alarms within 15 feet of every bedroom and at least one on each floor of the home. Your WMAY dependable forecast is next on Springfield's News and Talk.
News brought to you by Illinois Paving. It's paving season, and Illinois Paving is here to help. Call Cousin Bill today for your free estimate. Visit ilpaving.com.
Menards has the floor with the style you want and performance you need. Latitude Luxury Vinyl Plank from Shaw is the perfect choice to bring elegance to your home while standing up to the most demanding environments. It's waterproof, durable, and is easy to install. Latitude Vinyl Plank is just $2.99 a square foot. After 11% rebate. Good through October 15th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Some people would call him a loser. He ran for state office. He was beaten. He started a business. He failed. He ran for Congress. He lost. He was nominated for vice president. He lost again. But he knew only those who never tried are the real losers. And Abraham Lincoln was no loser. Persistence. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
Where do ghosts sleep? In the Booge Room, of course. And they sleep great on their all-new Bemco Arctic Breeze and Max Life mattresses from the guys at Just Beds. This month, twin Bemco mattresses $149. Queen mattresses just $229. Spooky good deals and a great night's sleep from the all-new Bemco Arctic Breeze and Max Life mattresses. As always, free delivery to your Booge Room, setup, and removal. Visit the Yawn Exterminators at Just Beds on Montvale Drive, Springfield.
Just Beds. Now, your dependable forecast on 92.7 WMAY.
Scattered thunderstorms likely today, otherwise cloudy skies expected. Highs level off around 71, southerly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Slight chance for scattered thunderstorms tonight, 58, partly cloudy. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times, tomorrow, 78. Chance for scattered storms Friday, chance for scattered rain showers on Saturday. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Currently, it's 45.
Weather sponsored by BLH Computers in Springfield, Jacksonville, and Taylorville. Online at blhcomputers.com.
One of the easiest things you can do to prevent getting stranded tomorrow is check your battery today. Hi, it's Laurie from Rex Battery. If you can take about 5 minutes out of your day, we can make absolutely sure your car battery is ready before winter. Just pull into Rex, and we'll not only test the battery, but we'll make sure your alternator is doing its important job. Just because your car is running well now doesn't mean it's going to start when the temp drops. If you find your battery is near the end of its life, Rex Battery has car batteries for every make and model on the road. And more often than not, we have them for less than other places. Batteries are all we do, and we want to make sure yours is strong before winter hits. Just pull into Rex Battery anytime and ask for a free battery test. Rex Battery, Clear Lake, west of Dirksen.
Rex with a double X battery. Generations of power.
Here's one thing that psychologists and therapists believe to be a key step to achieving better mental health, and it doesn't cost a thing. Spending time outside. That's right, the natural light, the wind against your skin, the sounds and fragrances of the season all work in concert to help you feel better. Now, you can't treat clinical depression and addiction with just one step. Those are more serious problems, especially with drugs and alcohol. The team of nurses, counselors, physicians, and psychologists at Gateway Foundation understand that. They know what you're going through, and they can show you the way out. Your insurance covers treatment, and the Family Medical Leave protects your job. If your situation appears hopeless, make the confidential call to Gateway at 877-505-HOPE, 877-505-HOPE, and start feeling better today. Gateway Foundation. Addiction medicine, saving lives.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI Studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.
Still no movement out of the 7th Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals concerning Illinois' gun and magazine ban on Second Amendment grounds, but today's the day that's the issue of vagueness will be argued in front of the Southern District's federal court judge, Stephen McGlynn, the same judge who gave a preliminary injunction earlier this year against the state law on Second Amendment grounds. That's currently being dealt with by the 7th Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals. Good morning. I'm Greg Bishop. It is Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. Want to remind you to follow me anywhere. Just search Bishop on Air. Now, today I will be in the courtroom, and I'll do what I can to live tweet out what's being discussed in the Southern District for today's hearing on the vagueness challenges. So we'll touch on that here in a moment, because state police did indeed respond to some of the motions here that are being made back in the Southern District. While we're still waiting on the Second Amendment issues in the Seventh Circuit Appeals Court, the case is back in the Southern District because Attorney Thomas Magg brought that case forward on vagueness grounds. So we'll touch on that here in just a moment. But other big news yesterday, you had the Ninth Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals in the magazine ban challenge issue their ruling. And this has been rather fascinating. If you follow Four Boxes Diner, Mark Smith's really broken down what's happened here in the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. And as far as, the district court granting an injunction with a stay on banning magazines, saying that that's unconstitutional, but giving the states the opportunity to go to the appeals court. Then the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals quickly took it, and instead of doing a 3-judge panel, they did a non-banc panel, and they came out with their ruling yesterday. And here it is. It says filed, just looking at the docket here, order for publication. You've got judges essentially ordering one way and dissent going the other way. So they essentially granted an emergency partial stay pending appeal for the state to put a stay on the lower court's ruling that the that the magazine ban in California is unconstitutional. So that's something that's, of course, is across the country, but that case is also something that plaintiffs in Illinois' challenge have asked for the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals to recognize, and you can see that in the docket entry for the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals. They asked earlier this month for the judges in the Ninth and the Seventh Circuit to look at what's going on in the Ninth Circuit. So we'll be seeing how that exactly plays out, but we're still waiting on the Seventh Circuit to issue their ruling for the Illinois case. But again, today is the day that you've got the hearing that's going to be happening for the vagueness issues in the Southern District with Judge Stephen McGlynn. That's going to be in East St. Louis, 1:30 this afternoon at the federal court. And this is a hearing on a motion for summary judgment on vagueness grounds. A motion for summary judgment on vagueness grounds. That's fascinating because that could be, and so we'll see how that plays out. But yesterday you had Illinois State Police, by way of the defense of the Protect Illinois Communities Act, they did indeed issue their kind of response, so to speak. We'll just take a look at this briefly here. Some of the overview of what state police have to say leading up to today's hearing. They talk about the background of how we got to this point. Then looking at just some of the bullet points, the summary of the testimony. They say plaintiffs' declarants are able to understand and apply the Protect Illinois Community Act's restrictions on magazine capacities. Plaintiffs' declarants understand and apply PICA's magazine capacity limits in the real world, they argue, and then they go through and lay out more. So we're going to hear a lot of this, I imagine, in court today, and I'll be tweeting out a lot of the oral arguments as it plays out. But they say plaintiffs' declarants make clear that PICA's definition of assault weapon is not unconstitutionally vague, they say. They also go on to, and this is from the Illinois State Police, filed to the federal court. The conclusion is Director Kelly respectfully requests the court grant his motion to supplement his response to the Langley plaintiff's preliminary motion for summary judgment with the disposition of transcripts and exhibits attached as part of Group A and B and supplemental declarations attached in Exhibit C. And it's hundreds of pages of different types of supplemental testimony that they want to provide. So while you've got all this at play here, you've got gun rights groups saying that, listen, you can have all the gun control laws you want, but it doesn't appear to be working. Just look at the state of crime in Chicago. Governor J.B. Pritzker was asked about that last night at a forum at the University of Chicago, where he addressed a direct question about, is there evidence that gun laws don't work because of the increased crime in Chicago?
Here's what it's evidence of. We need national gun safety laws. We need a ban on assault weapons nationally. We need to have, switches banned nationally. 60%, there is real statistics out there that you can look at. 60% of the violent crimes committed with guns in the city of Chicago were committed with guns that came from Indiana, because they don't have any gun safety laws, really. And for goodness sakes, Florida, where everybody's wearing you can wear a gun anywhere in Florida, in the open. I mean, literally, they don't allow those stickers on the doors in buildings that say you can't bring a gun in here. You're literally prohibiting people from bringing a gun somewhere. So you could be, in the grocery store and, 17 people are walking around with a handgun. And by the way, you've seen this in the Capitol in Wisconsin and in Michigan, where people are allowed to carry AR-15s at the Capitol, right? That's allowed. So we need national reform. And we've done what we can do. There's more that we could do, but we've done the things that we've done in the state of Illinois because we think it will make a difference. But it's false to say that if there's gun violence in Chicago, it means that all of that is a failure. What it means is guns are pouring in from outside. Every state around us is a Republican-controlled state. Kentucky has a Democratic governor, but I believe, supermajority Republican legislature. Wisconsin, same thing. So these are Republican states, and there's not a lot that we can do from Illinois to affect that. But at the national level, Joe Biden is in favor of, for example, a ban on assault weapons, and I've talked to him directly about how we could accomplish that.
I don't know, though, if that necessarily addresses the question directly about increased crime in a state like Illinois, in a city like Chicago, where you've got more gun violence. That's violent crime, I should say. That's being reported from armed robberies to shootings and gang activity and so on. Is it more about the policies that Illinois has in place that really are not allowing for economic prosperity, for instance? Is that something else that's more at the core? Because you don't see the level of violent crime in what he called surrounding Republican states. You might see it in more urban areas, but what does that say about the policies in those urban areas? So I think that there's more of a conversation that needs to be had about that. But again, Governor J.B. Pritzker sharing his thoughts last night at a forum about the question of whether or not evidence shows that more gun laws do not keep people safe as we see violent crime continue in Chicago. We'll be down in court October 11th. That's today. Southern District of Illinois on the vagueness grounds. And don't forget, you've got the Fifth Amendment argument that could still come out. So Attorney Thomas Magg has said that he will bring that out if indeed he needs to try to get an injunction on this law. All right, follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter. Just search Bishop On Air, and we can connect that way. Got to take a break, come back. We'll talk about some statistics from Illinois State Police where less than 1% of firearm owners in Illinois have filed an affidavit with state police declaring how many firearms they have. So stay tuned. We'll get to that next year. Right now, 621 from Culver's West on Wabash.
Deliver smiles, butter burgers, fresh custard, and great service. Culver's West on Wabash is hiring for all positions.
You've seen the big-name celebrities on TV pushing Medicare plans. That 800 number connects you with a different voice every time. Somebody that doesn't know what works best here in Central Illinois. Make Medicare easy. Contact Sullivan Financial of Chatham. They can provide a no-cost comparison of those same plans and help find the best one that fits you. Annual enrollment is October 15th through December 7th. Sullivan Financial of Chatham. Find us on Facebook or online at sullivanfinance.com.
Time to move inside and make your home warm and cozy. Hendricks Home Furnishings is having a fall sale on all things homey. Cozy up on a new sofa or sectional. Relax and unwind with comfy recliners or stylish chairs. Pick out a new fireplace console to complement your seasonal decor. Settle in for a gathering at your new dining or kitchen table. Don't miss out on our limited time fall offers. Just a short drive to Verdon on Route 4. Hendricks Home Furnishings has everything you need to create a warm and inviting space.
I think what people want from their doctors, as much as anything, is a partner in their care. I'm Dr. Chris McDowell, a physician with SIU Medicine. Our clinical excellence is unmatched in the region. We're home to the latest technology, the best people. But what sets us apart is our commitment to our patients. Being there for them as a partner, a supporter, as an advocate, and even a neighbor. That's what makes SIU Medicine so unique. Learn more at siumed.org.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
Rex with a double X battery. Generations of power.
Here's what we believe at Rex Battery. You should be able to find the right battery when you need it. Our company started when my dad needed a battery for his car, and he built it himself. Today, more than 50 years later, we are still making sure you can find the right battery you need. And that includes the common batteries people use every day to the hard-to-find batteries used in big farm equipment. While online outlets are struggling with supply chain issues, we have shelves full of batteries. The best part is we're right here in town and ready to help today. Hearing aids, power tools, and the car in your garage. If it takes a battery, you can find the battery at Rex Battery, Clear Lake, just west of Dirksen.
Rex with a double X battery. Generations of power.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club.
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives.
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Rieken, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Hey, it's Breeze Airways, the seriously nice airline that wants to fly you to your next vacation. Fly nonstop from Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport in Springfield to Orlando and Tampa Bay, faster and easier than ever before. We don't charge change or cancellation fees, so you can book with complete peace of mind. Go to flybreeze.com or download the Breeze app to book your trip. Breeze Airways, seriously nice.
Take the easy way out.
Do you like gadgets? Techie kind of stuff that you can control with your phone, like your home security system, for instance. If you have a security system and you're not able to control everything with your phone, you're really missing out. With the virtual keypad on your phone, you can even watch your cameras and control other systems in your house besides just the security system from anywhere at any time. Curious? Call the Springfield office of Barcom Security or check out barcomsecurity.com and have a secure day.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop. Weekdays 6 till 9 on 92.7 WMAY.
Fraction of 1% of Illinois firearm owner identification card holders have registered banned guns in the first week the registration's been open. That's according to statistics from Illinois State Police. Good morning. Back at it. I'm Greg Bishop. You can always follow me anywhere. Just search Bishop on air, and let's get into it because after I kept refreshing the FOID statistic website, I ultimately saw that indeed yesterday they did publish those statistics. And if you click through, you can see this yourself as to what exactly they're reporting on. And you can see the total number of disclosures for the Protect Illinois Communities Act. And as of yesterday, the numbers were a total number of 1,050 individuals filing disclosures with Illinois State Police that they own a firearm that legislators banned. The total number of all banned firearms, ammunition disclosures, and accessory disclosures was 3,202. So for firearms, there were 2,060 disclosed. Semi-automatic rifles, shotguns, or handguns, we don't know which is which. They didn't divulge that type of information. But they did divulge that for 50 caliber ammunition that people have to register, there were 1,125 disclosures of such 50 caliber ammunition. And then accessories being disclosed, 17 accessories, which is kind of interesting. Only 17 accessories being disclosed within the first week. So this is all part of the state's gun and magazine ban that was enacted January 10th of this year. And it said October 1st is when a registry opens for those grandfathered firearms. If you owned a firearm before January 10th of this year that fits into this category that state legislators banned, then you have to register them by January 1st of 2024. If you don't and you're found out of compliance, you could face criminal penalties from a Class A misdemeanor to a Class 3 felony. So obviously, people interested to see what's going to happen here. I connected with Todd Vandermeide yesterday to give him the statistics as I got them and got his reaction. Here's what he had to say.
So at 1,050 individuals registering, you're at 0.0004%. That's a rounding error by anybody's, category. It is. I think you said that there's 17 attachments that have been registered so far, and it'd be interesting as to what those are, if they're just handguards or whatever, because they're vague on that in the rule. It's starting off to a very, very slow start. And I don't think, they've got a long way to go if they're going to try to make it, if they think they're going to get any sort of real compliance. I think this is starting off about the way we thought it would.
So Vandermeide saying that of the 2.4 million firearms owner identification card holders, assuming that each had a weapon or firearm that could be classified as a semi-automatic firearm, there's only 0.004, or is it 0.0004? Either way, it's not even a half of a percentage point of total FOID card holders that have registered. But this is just a weekend. It's just one weekend. We'll see what happens ultimately. But Vandermeide gives some recommendations to gun owners in the state of Illinois.
It's a long way till December 31st. And there's plenty of time for either Judge McGlynn to issue another ruling or for the state to lose in federal court with the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals. We'll see. Look at the pistol brace situation. They've been enjoined twice now from enforcement of the pistol brace stuff, and you only had, by one court's determination, an 8% compliance rate. I see no reason to run out and do anything at this juncture because the state police still haven't finalized the rules on this stuff. And the advice they're giving in their rules and vis-a-vis their website is contradictory to each other and the statute. So until it's actually sorted out, I don't think there's any reason to rush.
So Vandermeide saying that, listen, the rules haven't even been finalized. They're emergency rules. October 17th, next week, is when the Joint Committee on Administrative Rules meets, and they could take up these emergency rules from Illinois State Police on this gun ban registry, where you have to register semi-automatic rifles, shotguns, and handguns. You do not have to register your magazines that are banned, but you do have to register accessories. What are those accessories? That's something that's being argued right now is too vague and people don't know. But you also have to register 50 caliber ammunition. So that's an interesting part as well of all of this. But Vandermeide said, listen, the Second Amendment, he comes from the perspective that it is there and shall not be infringed because it's necessary for the security of a free state.
To look at some world events, the same people that want us to register stuff have told me in committee hearings previously that we should store stuff at the ranges and we shouldn't have it in our house. I think what's going on over in Israel just has been a complete and utter failure of gun control that, storing things away from your house and not having them. I think, we ought to just put a stake through the heart of all that BS.
So, again, some passions definitely up when it comes to this issue, because some see it as an issue of life or death, I think, on both sides of this equation of regulation of firearms, or do you have a Second Amendment right? But again, you've got that registry that's open now, and that means that if you are found out of compliance by January 1st, you could face criminal penalties. That is, if the law is upheld by the federal courts, and we don't even know when this is going to get to the U.S. Supreme Court, but we'll see if there's going to be an injunction put in place, either on Fifth Amendment grounds or on vagueness grounds, or however this is going to play out, or if the appeals court just says we're upholding the law while this plays out in the U.S. Supreme Court. Whatever happens, we'll be watching closely. But if the law is found unconstitutional, again, you've got State Representative Amy Ellick, who has legislation she says would require Illinois State Police to destroy records if the law is found unconstitutional. But also keep in mind that the registry, it only impacts firearms that were owned before January 10th of 2023, when the law was enacted. Illinois State Police have said time and again that it does not allow for firearms that were purchased after January 10th to be registered. So that's individuals who got a temporary restraining order. The thousands of individuals in gun stores that took part in a temporary restraining order Attorney Thomas DeVore was able to secure, those have been vacated now. But also the temporary and preliminary injunction from federal Judge Stephen McGlynn that was only 6 days wide, right, before the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals came in and put a stay on that injunction. So those firearms purchased in those windows, Illinois State Police has said were possessed after January 10th and therefore cannot be registered by the deadline of January 1st, 2024. So we'll see what happens here. But again, the headline here is, less than 1% of the Illinois firearm owner identification card holders have registered their banned guns in the first week. We'll be tracking those numbers all throughout. All right, follow me anywhere. Just search Bishop on Air. On air, off air, Bishop on Air. X, formerly known as Twitter. YouTube, where you can watch streams live or take part in other conversations and check other stuff out. But you can also follow me on Facebook as well, where you can track all the work I do with news and coverage of what's going on in state government. So be sure to follow me anywhere. Just search Bishop on Air. 6:35, we'll talk about Governor J.B. Pritzker now, saying that, hey, more unqualified people in this country as non-citizens need to be, quote, returned. What does that mean? Stay tuned. We'll get to that next here on WMAY 6:35. Let's check some headlines.
92.7 WMAY.
Here are the three big things you need to know.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story. Springfield Mayor Misty Buscher announced yesterday that the city of Springfield won a federal grant of nearly $900,000 from the U.S. Forest Service to plant 1,000 trees and to hire a community outreach arborist and 3 student worker arborists during the summer months over a 5-year period. Mayor Buscher said the tree planting funds and money for outreach staff are particularly important to the city after several hundred trees were damaged by storms earlier this year. Navigator CO2 Ventures has withdrawn its application for a permit to place a proposed carbon dioxide pipeline in Illinois. The company had planned to build a pipeline through parts of South Dakota, Nebraska, Minnesota, and Iowa before terminating in Illinois, where the company planned to store the carbon dioxide. The Associated Press reports that Navigator has not abandoned the project and may reapply for a permit in the future after it reevaluates the route. The Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library Museum will host historian Jeremy Suri on October 12th at 6:30 p.m. Suri will speak about the struggles for justice and unity in the aftermath of Lincoln's death. He argues in his most recent book that America remains trapped in the long shadow of a civil war that still has not ended. Links to the event can be found at WMAY.com. Illinois Senator Dick Durbin's office announced that he underwent a successful total knee replacement surgery for his left knee. The procedure was performed Tuesday morning at Rush in Oak Brook, Illinois. Durbin will remain in Illinois until he is cleared for travel to Washington by his doctor. Dorothy Hoffner is dead at the age of 104. The Chicago woman made news 10 days ago when she took a skydive that could put her in the Guinness Book of World Records as the oldest person to ever jump from a plane. According to reports, she died in her sleep Sunday night at the Lakeview Senior Living Community in Brookdale. The Springfield Youth Performance Group Foundation has announced their upcoming performances of the Nutcracker on December 2nd and 3rd at Sacred Heart Griffin Auditorium, 1200 West Washington Street in Springfield. The Nutcracker features dancers from SYPG and local young dancers, including cast members from Boys and Girls Club of Central Illinois. Ticket information can be found at WMAY.com. The Illinois Department of Children and Family Services provides free smoke alarms to families served by the department. DCFS has distributed more than 4,000 smoke alarms to families across Illinois, including nearly 900 this year. Illinois law requires every household to have smoke alarms within 15 feet of every bedroom and at least one on each floor of the home. International researchers, including a mechanical engineer at Purdue University, have developed a method to predict the recurrence of prostate cancer in patients treated by radiation therapy. Purdue professor Hector Gomez said data indicates the new model-based predictors can identify relapsing patients over a year earlier than current clinical practice. Between 20 and 30% of patients experience a recurrence within 5 years of treatment. WMAY Dependable Forecast is next on Springfield's News and Talk.
Here at Warren Boynton State Bank, we're proud to be a true community bank since 1877. We remind you that the goal of a community bank is to work together with our customers and communities to help move them forward in positive ways. When we accept your deposits, we invest that money right back into this area, into homes, farms, and small businesses. One of our primary goals is to help this community in any way we can. And because we've invested in you, our friends and neighbors, our bank is safe and sound and in business to stay. We're sincere in our care and concern for this community. Our employers, directors, and managers are people you know, people who are dedicated to making this a better place to live. Discover what a true community bank is at Warren Boynton State Bank, 3030 Spring Mill Drive in Springfield. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Warren Boynton, your bank.
The trucks are out. Watch for a recycling event near you. The largest recycler in the area is taking all of your old computers and accessories and making the environment a better place. If you missed the event, no worries. Come to any of the 3 BLH locations and recycle them there. As an eSteward certified recycler, your information remains secure and safe in the trusted hands of BLH. In Jacksonville, Taylorville, Springfield, and at blhcomputers.com.
To protect her home and family in a disaster, Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Now, your dependable forecast on 92.7 WMAY.
Scattered thunderstorms likely today, otherwise cloudy skies expected. Highs level off around 71, southerly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Slight chance for scattered thunderstorms. Tonight, 58, partly cloudy. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Tomorrow, 78. Chance for scattered storms. Friday, chance for scattered rain showers on Saturday. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Currently, it's 45.
Weather sponsored by Lauterbach Tire and Auto, home of Stage 2 service. Drive safely now.
Do you have an invention idea but don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp today. We have representatives nationwide who will explain the InventHelp process step by step. Over 10,000 patents have been secured through InventHelp's patent referral services. The InventHelp databank includes thousands of companies who have agreed to review new ideas. We've been helping inventors since 1984. Let's help you next. Get started today.
Call 1-800-217-4380. That's 1-800-217-4380. Again, 1-800-217-4380.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Sponsored by Age of Learning.
Guess who's in charge of arranging the corporate event this year? Now, where to start?
Conn's Catering and Events has you covered. A quick call or visit with the experts at Conn's will save you time while making you look like an excellent planner.
Well, this event is a real monster. We'll need a bunch of options.
Like a customizable menu tailored to your specific needs and preferences?
That would be one easy solution.
From full-service events like the one you're planning to drop-off catering like a quick meal to feed the office, Conn's will have people complimenting you on the excellent choices.
Sounds like this is going to be a permanent addition to my job description.
Because you're not settling for anything less than extraordinary. Give Conn's a call. They'll help you turn the event into a complete success as you make that lasting impression on your clients, employees, and guests.
Call Angie at 217-523-4466 or visit Cons at conshg.com to set up your corporate dining experience today.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.
Governor J.B. Pritzker seems to want to continue the efforts of deporting individuals in the country here as non-citizens. If they're not asylum seekers, he wants them deported. Welcome in Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop. You can follow me anywhere. Just search Bishop on Air. So if you remember last week, Governor J.B. Pritzker sent President Joe Biden a letter saying that the migrant situation is untenable and uncoordinated. Well, the governor yesterday said that migrants not qualified for asylum should be returned. That's after the White House announced that they are indeed moving forward with deportations of Venezuelans here illegally. But the governor was in Chicago yesterday at an event where he was, celebrating the expansion of a cake company, Eli Cake. And he's at Eli's at a podium and shares some thoughts about the importance of helping those in this country as non-citizens get jobs.
Family-owned bakery. I should point out, by the way, I feel that I have contributed to your success. Some of the profitability certainly came out of my pocket. A family-owned business, 3 generations strong, Eli's Cheesecake. It's iconic. And for those of us who love Chicago, we brag about this company anywhere that we are in the world. With patrons who travel near and far to get a taste of the best cheesecake the world has to offer, Eli's brings people together, not just for the love of its treats, but also in service to our communities.
And he goes on to talk about how the Eli's company hires migrants to essentially, work there and to have jobs and to make a living. They cut, instead of a ribbon, they cut the cake, which is kind of fascinating. So you can watch that, of course, on the governor's Facebook page and see them cut this just enormous cake. But the governor then afterwards took questions from members of the media at an unrelated news conference of sorts, where he was, again, peppered with questions about migrants, and in particular, if the State House is going to be having a supplemental appropriation to give Chicago more money to deal with migrants.
I have not heard of a supplemental that'll be introduced. That's certainly something the legislature might think about doing, but there are plenty of other things to consider, including, as you know, looking at a better nuclear moratorium removal. and a few other things that are, the purpose of a veto session.
So the governor hasn't heard of a supplemental appropriation for dealing with the migrant issue. We asked State Senator Steve McClure this yesterday, his thoughts on whether or not there's going to be a supplemental appropriation.
We don't have the funds, and we typically don't have the funds for much of anything that we ever do in this state. But I'll say this, the governor wants to blame Joe Biden on the immigrant crisis right now and blame the governor of Texas and everything else. The governor has been, for the entire time he's been in office, begging people to come here, incentivizing them to come here, gives them free health care where people don't even have to pay copays. I've got health insurance, I've got to pay copays, and yet I'm paying through my tax dollars for people that are citizens of other countries in this state to get free health insurance where they don't have to pay any copays. So why are you going to make all these incentives for people to come here and stay here and then blame everybody else for why they're coming here and staying here? And so I think the excuses from the governor, it's time to create new policies that protect the people of our state and our country. The governor's not been willing to do that. Instead, he wants to blame everybody else for policies that he has created that are encouraging people to come and stay in this state.
So McClure also highlighted how we need to change the state's sanctuary city policies and state policies, where that says local law enforcement cannot give immigration officials access to people behind bars. But you've got the governor who is seeming to say, hey, you know what? We need to deport people. Here he is yesterday reacting to questions on whether there's been progress after he sent a letter to President Joe Biden last week on how they need to shore up the migrant issue.
Well, I will say that they have moved quickly on a number of items. I think you saw that shortly after our letter went to the White House that a determination was made to expand the return of refugees who do not qualify for refugee status. So that's one thing. Another is a very, very close discussion about buses that are coming here, whether some of those buses are potentially breaking the law along the way, and working with the government about the logistics of those buses. Where would they go? Is Chicago the only place they could go? New York the only place they could go? And so those conversations are going, and the White House is taking action in a way that they didn't before. So I'm very pleased about that.
What laws were they breaking by that midnight curfew? Is that the law you're talking about?
No. This is just folks who do not qualify for refugee status. So remember, when they come here, they get sort of temporary asylum status. They're seeking asylum, and they have to go through a process. If they don't meet the requirements for someone who could stay, we're making sure, the federal government anyway, is making sure that those folks are returned.
And again, that's Governor Pritzker talking yesterday about how it's the federal government, not the state, that's doing this. Because in state law, according to the Attorney General's Office for Guidance for Local Law Enforcement on Immigration Issues, for example, a local law enforcement agency in Illinois cannot give an immigrant agent access to individuals in its custody, detain individuals pursuant to a federal administrative warrant, detain individuals pursuant to an immigration detainer request from U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or share information about individuals in its custody with federal immigration authorities, among other issues. So again, that sanctuary city policy is really, and the sanctuary state policy is in focus here now, with the governor saying that, hey, we need to deport people who are in this country illegally, who aren't qualified for asylum. As the governor said, asylum seekers are here legally, and that may be the case, but a lot of them are not legal asylum seekers. And the governor recognizing that, saying the White House moving forward with such things is good, and he's encouraged by that. But the governor was at a forum last night where he was at the University of Chicago taking questions from a moderator, but then you had members of the audience ask a question. One in particular was about the migrant issue, and a question directly as to the governor making all of this problem himself, and Democrats, aren't they responsible for this?
Which included funding illegal immigrant students financial aid with taxpayer money and restricting local and state governments and how they can apprehend illegal immigrants. More recently, you penned a letter to Joe Biden saying that the burden of illegal immigrants has been laid, quote, upon a few certain states run by Democrats, which is untenable. But that's not fully true, because for years, Florida and Texas have had a higher illegal immigrant population percentages than Illinois. So I'm wondering, is the reason that you kind of reversed on this issue simply because it's now causing myriad problems in your own state, or is there some other reason?
Well, I appreciate your question, and I think I know from where it comes. I will just say that I believe that we have to help, for example, the state of Texas and the cities in Texas, just like we need to help other cities and states to manage the incoming immigration to the United States. By the way, you called these folks illegal. These are undocumented people. There are many of them in the United States here for many years, and they should be treated like human beings. They should be given an opportunity, a path towards citizenship. This is all about having comprehensive immigration reform. And in the absence of that, we as a state need to help manage and help these folks to get an education, to try and get a job legally. And we have DACA recipients in the state that I believe we should just immediately give them all citizenship. And there's so much more that we need to do. But what you're describing is not as if blue states believe in immigration and red states don't. The challenge, I know that what's going on in Texas, the challenge is there are an awful lot of people that are in Texas, and it's not just the recent challenge of asylum seekers who are legal, I might add, in this country. Asylum seekers are legal in this country, right? We have undocumented immigrants, and then we have documented asylum seekers. We need to manage all of that, and it has been a failure of Republicans and Democrats, and we all need to come together to solve this problem. Now is the moment to do that.
Thank you. I agree. It's a failure of both parties.
So again, Governor J.B. Pritzker there taking questions from members of an audience at the University of Chicago about immigration. He took a ton of other questions. We'll have to tackle all that stuff tomorrow. I'm Greg Bishop. Follow me anywhere. Just search Bishop on Air on X, formerly known as Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube. Just search Bishop on Air. All right, 654 from Culver's West on Wabash.
Work with a team that cares about being the best part of the customer's day. Apply today at Culver's West on Wabash.
It seems like everyone in business these days has one big thing in common. We're all looking for our next great new hire. It's tough out there, and with the unemployment rate near 4%, your next star employee may very well already be working somewhere else. But guess what? Do they even know you're hiring? That's where Midwest Family Springfield can help. We've partnered with NavaQuest to provide business owners and hiring managers a free recruitment marketing workshop. We're calling it Recruitment on the Rocks. This happy hour informational event is free to attend and will be held on Wednesday, November 15th from 4:30 to 6 p.m. at Buzz Bomb in Springfield. The information provided will be educational and interactive to help you recruit so you can find the next player for your team. Isn't it time for you to work on your business and not just at your business? Seating is very limited, so please RSVP today at MidwestFamilySPI.com. We hope you can join us with our guests from NavaQuest for our free Recruitment on the Rocks happy hour workshop, Wednesday, November 15th from 4:30 to 6 p.m. at Buzz Bomb in Springfield. To reserve your seat, RSVP today at MidwestFamilySPI.com.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Getting around town can be a challenge for those with disabilities. SMTD's Access Paratransit makes it easy.
My name is Dorothy Baldwin, and I have been riding Access at least 8 years now.
And what do you use the Access service the most for?
Well, I go to the beauty shop, get my hair done. I go to doctor's appointments. I go out to lunch with my friends. I go to just about any place that I want to go to.
For schedules and routes, go to smtd.org.
Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Keep the cold winter air out and the warm air in with Foamular insulation panels from Owens Corning. Whether it's in your walls, floors, or basement, Foamular insulation can create a more comfortable living space while reducing energy costs. Save 11% on all insulation products now at Menards. Good through October 15th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Clock Tower Community Bank is everything you want in a community bank. Local people making local decisions for local success. With 6 convenient locations in Springfield and Chatham, our experienced local bankers are here for you in every way, from opening a checking account to getting a loan. And because we're local, we share the commitment to the success and future of our community. Visit Clock Tower Community Bank today. Clock Tower Community Bank, a division of Morton Community Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, you. The one on the couch who just told your friend you can't go out because you're busy? Ready to get real about your psoriasis? When your current treatments don't do enough to help control the inflammation beneath the skin, causing plaques and pain, stressing and scratching, it's time to stop hiding and get real with your dermatologist so they can help you get clear. Get real clear about psoriasis at letsgetrealclear.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
In business, everything your employees do impacts your brand, including what they wear. Cintas has high-performance workplace apparel for almost every job imaginable. From work shirts and pants, to polos and khakis, to Oxfords or T-shirts, these clothes move, breathe, and look great. Your team gets the styles they like, you convey the image you want. And Cintas service includes weekly laundry and delivery. To learn more, visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club?
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Rieken, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, get the whole store.
All right, we don't have time to talk about this today, but maybe we'll revisit it. Black Lives Matter Chicago on X, formerly known as Twitter, sharing a graphic that says, "I stand with Palestine," shows a guy, a silhouette, parachuting in, and that's what was done to kill over 200 people at a music festival.
The Fly SPI Studios. Take the easy way out. WMAY FM, Taylorville. Springfield's news and talk is 92.7 WMAY.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Tom Rivers. As the Middle East death toll rises to more than 1,200 Israelis and more than 1,000 Palestinians, it was another night of punishing airstrikes on Gaza. Retaliation for the weekend Hamas terror attacks. ABC's Ian Panel has reaction from Tel Aviv.
Residents like Abu Rafiq witnessing Israel's retaliation, stunned. Telling us this was total destruction, with no house left standing. Israel again striking the last remaining border crossing, now closed off by Egypt. Tala Imad heard Salah sheltering inside her family home.
There's no electricity, there's no food supply, there's no water.
It's not clear if or when a ground invasion will happen, but the consequences could be dire.
An estimated 20 U.S. citizens are among the 150 or so believed to be held hostage by Hamas militants. The concern over their safety growing amid the continued bombing. But former U.S. Ambassador to Israel, James Cunningham, says Israel won't allow Hamas to exploit their unknown whereabouts.
If they are able to acquire intelligence about where they are, I'm sure they'll take that into consideration in their calculations as they go forward. But right now, Hamas cannot be allowed to prevent action against it because we don't know where the hostages are.
In Washington, still no decision among House Republicans on who the next speaker should be. The contest between Steve Scalise and Jim Jordan, Congressman Matt Gaetz, who orchestrated Kevin McCarthy's ouster, says they'll figure it out.
In a world in which only two people are running for speaker, it's going to be pretty clear who has the most support. And once it's clear who of the two has the most support, I think there's going to be, a tremendous amount of pressure to coalesce around that candidate.
This is ABC News.
This is good news, maybe exactly when you need it to. Right now, switching to MediShare can save you even more than usual on top of what you'll save each month by becoming a member of MediShare. So many people are looking for a healthcare solution right now, especially given how inflation is affecting us. And MediShare is the affordable, reliable alternative to health insurance. The typical family saves about $500 a month. You might save even more. And MediShare is a Christian community that's been sharing each other's healthcare costs for 30 years now, and they're making it easier than ever. Apply by October 31st, and you can save an additional $150 on your first month. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just tell them the promo code SHARE to get your additional savings. Maybe now is the time to make the switch, like more than 400,000 people already have, and start saving. Here it is. It's 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26-BIBLE.
Well, you know what day it is? It's Wednesday. That means it's Council Roundup Day. And that means we've got a review of last night's Springfield City Council meeting, even though it was under 30 minutes, I think. Short meeting. And actually, it's kind of a special treat, because it allows me to tell you a big announcement. So stay tuned. Get to that next year with Springfield's Morning News on WMAY. I'm Greg Bishop at 7:04. Stay tuned. Plenty to get to.
News.
Weather.
92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story, the Illinois State Police say they've made an arrest after someone threw rocks at the home of Governor J.B. Pritzker, breaking 3 windows. A Villa Park man is charged with 2 counts of stalking and 1 count of criminal damage to property. A Cook County judge on Tuesday decided that the public's safety could be assured by releasing 38-year-old Adam DeBash on electronic monitoring, according to court records. The Springfield Youth Performance Group Foundation has announced their upcoming performances of the Nutcracker on December 2nd and 3rd at Sacred Heart Griffin Auditorium, 1200 West Washington Street in Springfield. The Nutcracker features dancers from SYPG and local young dancers, including cast members from Boys and Girls Club of Central Illinois. Ticket information can be found at WMAY.com. International researchers, including a mechanical engineer at Purdue University, have developed a method to predict the recurrence of prostate cancer in patients treated by radiation therapy. Purdue professor Hector Gomez said data indicates the new model-based predictors can identify relapsing patients over a year earlier than current clinical practice. Between 20 and 30% of patients experience a recurrence within 5 years of treatment. Illinois Senator Dick Durbin's office announced that he underwent a successful total knee replacement surgery for his left knee. The procedure was performed Tuesday morning at Rush in Oak Brook, Illinois. Durbin will remain in Illinois until he is cleared for travel to Washington by his doctor. Dorothy Hoffner is dead at the age of 104. The Chicago woman made news 10 days ago when she took a skydive that could put her in the Guinness Book of World Records as to ever jump from a plane. According to reports, she died in her sleep Sunday night at the Lakeview Senior Living Community in Brookdale. Your WMAY dependable forecast is next on Springfield's News and Talk.
News brought to you by Illinois Paving. It's paving season, and Illinois Paving is here to help. Call Cousin Bill today for your free estimate. Visit ilpaving.com.
Rex with a double X battery. Generations of power.
You can jumpstart your car with a device you can hold in your hand. I'm Laurie from Rex Battery, and if you find yourself with a dead battery, the NOCO Genius Boost is all you need. You don't have to wait for a friend to show up, call a tow truck, or hope a stranger has jumper cables. If you have the NOCO Genius Boost, you have the charge you need to get your car going again. One charge can get you as many as 20 jumps. Rex Battery always carries the latest technology, and these small devices pack big power, enough oomph to start your cars, trucks, and even boats. They even have USB ports so you can get your phone powered up if you're stranded. The NOCO Genius Boost. Pick up one today at Rex Battery, Clear Lake, just west of Dirksen.
Rex with a double X battery. Generations of power.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club?
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Reekin, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, get the whole store.
Now, your dependable forecast on 92.7 WMAY.
Overcast today with scattered thunderstorms likely. Daytime highs approaching 71. South winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 58. Tonight, slight chance for scattered storms. A mix of clouds and sun. Tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 78. Chance for scattered storms. Friday, chance for scattered rain showers on Saturday. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Currently, it's 47.
Keeping you connected with the latest market updates every weekday afternoon at 4:30 and 6:30. Brought to you by Edward Jones, making sense of investing. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's news and talk.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-990-3434. 800-990-3434. 800-990-3434.
To protect his home and family from disaster, Steve used courage, wisdom, and his camera phone.
That should do it.
Way to go, Steve! By simply taking digital pictures of his family's important documents, Steve can always have them stored safely online, no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council. To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone.
Done.
By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI Studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's news and talk.
Now it's time for Greg Bishop and the Council Roundup.
It's Council Roundup, a program that is getting nationally recognized, at least by one guy from across the country who said, I haven't found anything like what you do with the Council Roundup anywhere. So welcome to it. Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. And I'm wearing a special Roundup shirt. The wife got this for me, Megan. I love it. Some of the comments on YouTube, they're digging it as well. Somebody says I need to wear a Stetson, and that's probably appropriate as well. Got a big announcement to make, and it's good news. But coming this Friday, it's going to be my last live broadcast on WMAY. That wasn't easy to say, but it's exciting. Not getting fired. That's not what's happening typically when it comes to when it comes to radio and media, trust me, I've seen it. I've been around long enough to see where, somebody comes in for a show on a Friday and then all of a sudden they're not there on Monday and they were let go and not really much of an announcement. But I have, of course, another job outside of doing this. This has been my part-time job for the past, I don't know, almost 10 years now when I think about it. Because I was recruited to start a radio network for covering the Illinois State House 10 years ago. And that has grown year after year after year, from just Illinois News Network Radio to then we acquired Illinois Radio Network, and then that grew to be the Center Square, Illinois, expanding across the country. Now the Center Square has reporters spanned all across the country, covering state government from a taxpayer's perspective in these different states, and it just continues to grow. Recently, we just acquired Blue Room Stream, which is considered the C-SPAN of Illinois, and that's a service that people can subscribe to get raw, uncut video of committee hearings, of press conferences, and so on. And we acquired that, so I now have to help manage that as well with the great team that's already there with Blue Room Stream. So listen, my full-time gig has kept me busy. There's no question. And I love it. I love being on the ground. I love helping direct news. I love editing reporters' work and helping manage what stories are going to be focused on. And a lot of that we bring back here each and every morning. But the responsibilities are just growing so much, and I want to spend more time with my wife. For crying out loud. So coming in here, it's a lot of work. I've enjoyed this. There's no question. I've enjoyed coming in here each and every morning from 6 to 9, 3 hours. Think about that. 3 hours. Early mornings. I got to get up at like 3 or 3:30, read 3 different newspapers, chop up audio, put everything together. There's no other producer here. I am the producer, right? This size market radio, that's just kind of how the cookie crumbles. So I've definitely flexed my radio production muscle, my talk show host production muscle, my news coverage production muscle, and I'm going to keep doing that despite Friday being my last day live on WMAY. I will, and if you follow me with Bishop on Air, I'm going to continue producing content, not just through thecentersquare.com, not just through Illinois Radio Network. If you follow me on the social media channels like YouTube, for instance, we'll continue on with a truncated, more directly focused program that really is just going to look at Illinois in particular. So be looking out for that, but follow me on social media to get all those details. Just search Bishop on Air. But I wanted to take this opportunity during the council roundup to share that news with you, that responsibilities are growing in my full-time gig. I got to focus on that, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope you follow along with me. But that means I can't come in here for 3 hours each morning. That includes all the show prep and, delving into what's going on in Washington, D.C., to what's going on at Springfield City Hall and so on, everything else in between. Interacting with callers has been fantastic. Letting you guys get plugged into what's going on with the council, for instance. I know you guys can't go to the council meetings. We in media get paid to cover this stuff, so it's been my pleasure to be able to break these things down for you in this fashion. But again, the headline here, this is my last council roundup here on WMAY. I started this program 12, 13, 14 years ago. And how it started pretty simply was I was just a young news guy in the newsroom across the window here and was covering city council and ended up finding all kinds of great stuff that wouldn't fit into a typical news story. So I had these clips. There were a lot of personalities. I'm like, this needs to be presented in some way. So alongside then host Ray Lytle, we had this council roundup where I'd cut up these clips and Ray and I would interject and put things in, context and whatnot. And then that's just evolved over time where, again, I'm hosting a morning show, doing the council roundup, a little bit of a break from that, doing the council roundup again. So over the span of like 12 or 13 years, or I think it's been 14 years now that I sit back and think about it. It's been a wonderful program, and I think it's been valuable. This will continue. It's just not going to be hosted by me. So the council roundup will continue with WMAY, but with Friday being my last live day this week, Friday, this is going to be my last Roundup. And it's kind of bittersweet because it was a short meeting last night. It was only like less than 30 minutes, which actually allows me to take this time to share with you that I'm going to be heading out at the end of this week. But what's great is, again, I'm not being fired. That's not what this is. This is actually great news. I'm going to be able to see my wife more, actually spend time with her in the mornings, which is going to be great. And I'm not going to be able to, just pass out at 7:30 every night. I'll be able to stay up later, which is awesome. I won't turn into a pumpkin at 7:30 at night, so that's a thumbs up. Plus, I'll be able to really focus and hone in on my reporting with the Center Square and Illinois Radio Network and getting a whole bunch more focused content, even more so. But again, I'm able to, and I'm thankful I can talk with you about this now instead of you turning on the radio on a Monday and where did Bishop go? And then finding out I got fired. I'm not getting fired. This is on my own volition. It's how this has to play out, and I appreciate you guys taking time with me and being on this track. But again, I'm not done doing news. I'm not done doing reporting. I'm not done doing hosting. Just follow me with Bishop on Air, and you can stay plugged in. Really, as things are evolving with media on your own time. So you'll be able to track along. So stay tuned. We got the Council Roundup. We'll get into it next here with Springfield's Morning News on WMAY. 7:18 from Culver's West on Wabash. It's time now to check in what's going on with Culver's West on Wabash.
It's time to apply at Culver's West on Wabash. We're hiring all positions. And did we mention free food? Only at Culver's West on Wabash.
Hey, it's Breeze Airways, the seriously nice airline that wants to fly you to your next vacation. Fly nonstop from Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport in Springfield to Orlando and Tampa Bay, faster and easier than ever before. We don't charge change or cancellation fees, so you can book with complete peace of mind. Go to flybreeze.com or download the Breeze app to book your trip. Breeze Airways, seriously nice.
Take the easy way out.
Looking to buy your next home or considering listing? My wife and I recommend choosing RE/MAX Professionals of Springfield, Fritz Pfister. Working with Fritz to find our new home in Sangamon County was truly a wonderful experience. He's prompt, responsive, and we had constant communication. He was committed to serving our needs and made our home buying experience an absolute pleasure. RE/MAX Professionals of Springfield, Fritz Pfister, 217-652-7653. 217-652-7653. Buying or selling a home? Fritz makes it easy.
All right, it is almost mid-October, which means you've got just over 2 weeks to head over and take in the nostalgia of the green Hyundai East Side, where Mike Quimby and the staff are standing by to not just help you experience that nostalgia, but to get you into a new vehicle before you guys, Mike, move to a new location. Good morning.
Good morning, and absolutely correct. And this is the last chance to buy a new Hyundai on the Dirksen Parkway facility in front of good old JCPenney. So come on out and see us. Lots of people doing that. Love the north end of town, Lincoln, Rochester area, etc., all coming in to take a look at what we've got. Over 120 new Hyundais on the ground, ready to go. We've still got 1.9% on select new Hyundai models, and the vehicles are pre-strike price. I mean, they haven't went up yet. So it's a good time to buy. They probably will go up as an effect of the UAW strike. It's always passed down through the price of the vehicle. Nobody else takes it but us. So here it comes, and we are prepared. So last chance to buy on the beautiful east side of Springfield all this week till 7 and Saturday till 6. Last chance qualifier, Greg. Dirksen Parkway, your car dealer, Green Hyundai.
Mike Quimby, Green Hyundai. Have a great day.
Appreciate it, Greg. Thank you.
And paid for by Linear Marketing Group. Are you drowning in debt? Are you struggling to make minimum payments? Did you know that on average, a household with at least one credit card struggles with over $17,000 in credit card debt? If this sounds like you, know that it's not your fault. Credit card debt happens to good people. Credit card companies lure you in with low introductory rates and low minimum payments. Before you know it, you're in over your head. We've helped thousands of good people just like you become debt-free with our Debt Reset program that will dramatically reduce your debt down to a fraction of what you owe. Our Debt Reset program is customized to get you debt-free in as little as 24 to 48 months with one low monthly payment. If you owe over $10,000 in credit card debt or even personal loans, call 800-480-7003 now. There are no upfront fees or out-of-pocket expenses. You don't pay a dime until we succeed. Call now to see how the Debt Reset program can work for you. 800-480-7003. That's 800-480-7003. Again, 800-480-7003.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club?
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Reekin, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, get the whole store.
Here at Warren Boynton State Bank, we're proud to be a true community bank since 1877. We remind you that the goal of a community bank is to work together with our customers and communities to help move them forward in positive ways. When we accept your deposits, we invest that money right back into this area, into homes, farms, and small businesses. One of our primary goals is to help this community in any way we can. And because we've invested in you, our friends and neighbors, our bank is safe and sound and in business to stay. We're sincere in our care and concern for this community. Our employers, directors, and managers are people you know, people who are dedicated to making this a better place to live. Discover what a true community bank is at Warren Boynton State Bank, 3030 Spring Mill Drive in Springfield. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Warren Boynton, your bank.
Listen and watch the interviews with today's newsmakers on Facebook and YouTube. Like and subscribe now. Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY.
All right, back with the Council Roundup. I'm Greg Bishop, and if you missed the last segment, I announced that today is the final Council Roundup from me, as Friday is my last live day here with WMAY. I would encourage you to follow me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Just search Bishop on Air, and we can connect that way. Long story short, it's been an honor to do this for the past, 16 years, it feels like. But my full-time gig is expanding, and I need to focus my sights on that. So can't come in here and do the 3-hour show. Can't do the Council Roundup production and get in here and drive back and forth. And it's time away from my wife. That's time away from my house. That's time away from my sanity and my sleep. But it has been a great honor, so I appreciate everybody for taking part. But let's get into it. Short meeting last night, and Roy Williams Jr. was the chair of the Committee of the Whole, and they had a whole bunch to tackle. Let's open it up with Roy Williams from last night's meeting.
Having the appointed time of 5:30 arrives, I would like to call Tuesday, October the 10th, 2023, Committee of the Whole to order.
So the Committee of the Whole, of course, is every other week where they deal with ordinances on first reading, and then they put them on consent or debate. But let's hear the Treasurer's report first.
Treasurer's report for the corporate fund for the month of September. The beginning balance is $73,498,760. We took in total receipts of $21,105,715. We had total disbursements in the month of September totaling $27,394,493. which left the corporate fund ending balance in the month of September at $67,209,982. The ending general fund balance included $18,320,828, which is the ARPA money ending balance for September. That concludes my report. Thank you.
So that ARPA money seems to be dwindling more and more and more with each report as we see those dollars being distributed to where they're meant. Now, Alderman Williams keeps things going forward.
Accept the treasury report as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
No.
Sorry. Next we have...
That's fine. Obviously, Alderman Redpath, his daughter is Colleen Redpath Fager, so he said he doesn't want to accept the treasurer's report. Just some good old fashioned poking fun there. Moving on, though, they got ordinances to consider. Here's the first.
Clearance services with Espinal Tree Service LLC for a total amount payable of $10,500,000 for the Office of Public Utilities.
$10 million.
Woo!
Somebody will come in and
move to debate. Alderman Hanauer wanting somebody to essentially come in and explain the $10 million cost here. So you'll likely hear more about that next week. Next up was an ordinance dealing with drainage.
Known as 1201 Toronto Road.
I'll move for consent, but I have discussion.
Yeah, and the discussion, again, what's going on here, it's got a whole bunch of plot move to northwest side of southeast corner of plot 7-402 or whatever. But Alderman Hanauer and Alderman Redpath had questions.
What's this do?
That's what I was going to ask.
I think it doesn't have to do with wells or something like that? Or?
It can. In this particular case, there's a potential for the groundwater to be contaminated, and it does deal with wells at times. And I'm not sure what the contamination is, but this is an IEPA closure.
Okay.
Would you get some clarification on that for us before next time?
On the actual chemical?
Yeah, because that's just to the north of Toronto, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. That it affects the subdivision right off of, right across from Lake Point, I believe, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, please do that.
So you want to know the compound that?
Yeah,
yes,
thank you.
Yes.
So interesting, may get some drainage work done over there. And we'll keep an eye on what's going on there. Next up, an ordinance purchases some vehicles from a local dealer. Let's hear about that, keeping it local.
2023-464, an ordinance authorizing the purchase of 6 2024 Ford F-250 pickup trucks from Landmark Ford Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $380,422 under state contract number 22-416 CMS-BOSS 4-P-33728 for the Office of Public Works.
All right, putting that on consent agenda. So keeping those local, getting some F-250s. Obviously, you need city departments to have good equipment because they use the heck out of them. Moving on, let's get some storm damage.
And the amount of $43,000 from unappropriated fund balance to accommodate the overtime expenses associated with the derecho storm for the Office of Public Works.
Move for consent.
So obviously, got to cover costs from overtime when it comes to having to deal with a storm like that derecho from this spring where, gosh, that was a pretty wild storm. Alderman Donnellan has questions about another one.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Director, will we be getting reimbursed for these expenses?
Yes, sir. These are the expenses that were expended for the overtime by the sewer department.
So, will we be getting money from the federal government or the state?
I believe so, from the federal government.
That's what I just want to make sure. Okay, thank you very
Just
much.
want to make sure, double checking. They did have another ordinance up for consideration dealing with something similar for a different department. You got to be able to cover overtime, especially when there's a storm of this magnitude, but they're looking to get some reimbursement, so they got to do these steps.
2023-466, an ordinance authorizing a supplemental appropriation in the amount of $81,218 from an unappropriated fund balance to replenish the unbudgeted expenditures resulting from the derecho storms and to accommodate the purchase of grave markers for the remainder of FY 2024 for the Office of Public Works.
Move for consent.
Grave markers? Were they damaged or something? Grave? So they got to pay for some damage costs, but they're also going to be getting grave markers. Alderman Donnellan had questions specifically about those grave markers at Oak Ridge.
Are we replacing, the way it reads, we're replacing damaged grave markers?
No, sir. Actually, sales have been very good, and we have sold out of grave markers.
I love it. Okay.
We are replenishing our stock.
That's kind of macabre.
I don't love the fact, by the way, that more people are needing those, but for clarification purposes, I'm just glad that we're in business.
Yeah,
Thank you.
there you go. All right.
Any
So
more
that's
discussion?
no, that's interesting, and I guess somewhat timely for Halloween. But getting some more grave markers, but also covering some storm damage out at Oak Ridge Cemetery, historic cemetery where Lincoln's buried.
An ordinance appointing
Next
Jason
up-
Brokaw as Inspector General for the City of Springfield.
Move to debate.
Second.
Been properly moved and second to send this to debate. Any discussion?
Will we have a resume and will that person be here so we can ask him questions?
You already got the resume. We have a resume.
Resumes.
Huh?
You got the resume.
Resumes in hand. It's just a matter of possibly having some questions from the Inspector General candidates. So interesting to hear that. We got a lot more to get to. Of course, this is just the committee of the whole. Next week, you have the full committee meeting where you'll hear likely conversation with the new Inspector General. You'll hear more about contracts dealing with the tree trimming services and a ton more. But we've got just a little bit more to cover of the Council Roundup here with Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. And again, just to remind you, this is my last Council Roundup, as my last day here is Friday. Knew about it several weeks. Just had to get all the ducks in a row and whatnot. Moving on to some bigger and better things. And obviously, I only have a limited amount of bandwidth. And it's sometimes feeling like I'm sitting in front of a fire hose with my mouth wide open. So it's going to be good to sit back and relax. But it's been a pleasure hanging out with you guys each and every weekday morning and delivering the one, the only, the Council Roundup. Yeah! All right, stay tuned. We'll get more Council Roundup coming up here on WMAY. 7:33 from Culver's West on Wabash. Let's check some headlines.
92.7 WMAY.
Here are the three big things you need to know.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story. Springfield Mayor Misty Buscher announced yesterday that the city of Springfield won a federal grant of nearly $900,000 from the U.S. Forest Service to plant 1,000 trees and to hire a community outreach arborist and 3 student worker arborists during the summer months over a 5-year period. Mayor Buscher said the tree planting funds and money for outreach staff are particularly important to the city after several hundred trees were damaged by storms earlier this year. Navigator CO2 Ventures has withdrawn its application for a permit to place a proposed carbon dioxide pipeline in Illinois. The company had planned to build a pipeline through parts of South Dakota, Nebraska, Minnesota, and Iowa before terminating in Illinois, where the company planned to store the carbon dioxide. The Associated Press reports that Navigator has not abandoned the project and may reapply for a permit in the future after it reevaluates the route. The Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library Museum will host historian Jeremy Suri on October 12th at 6:30 p.m. Suri will speak about the struggles for justice and unity in the aftermath of Lincoln's death. He argues in his most recent book that America remains trapped in the long shadow of a civil war that still has not ended. Links to the event can be found at WMAY.com. Dorothy Hoffner is dead at the age of 104. The Chicago woman made news 10 days ago when she took a skydive that could put her in the Guinness Book of World Records as the oldest person to ever jump from a plane. According to reports, she died in her sleep Sunday night at the Lakeview Senior Living Community in Brookdale. Illinois Senator Dick Durbin's office announced that he underwent a successful total knee replacement surgery for his left knee. The procedure was performed Tuesday morning at Rush in Oak Brook, Illinois. Durbin will remain in Illinois until he is cleared for travel to Washington by his doctor. The Illinois State Police say they have made an arrest after someone threw rocks at the home of Governor J.B. Pritzker, breaking 3 windows. A Villa Park man is charged with 2 counts of stalking and 1 count of criminal damage to property. A Cook County judge on Tuesday decided that the public's safety could be assured by releasing 38-year-old Adam Dabash on electronic monitoring, according to court records. Monday was Indigenous Peoples Day in most of the country, where Native Americans celebrate their histories and cultures with events in all 50 states. In Augusta, Maine, several hundred people rallied outside the State House in support of a November 7th statewide vote that would restore language about the state's obligations to Native American tribes to printed versions of its Constitution. Illinois and Missouri celebrate the holiday at the end of September. Your WMAY dependable forecast is next on Springfield's News and Talk.
News sponsored by Just Beds. A great night's sleep starts with a visit to the yawn exterminators at Just Beds. Online at justbedsinc.com.
It's obvious. The unthinkable is going to happen soon. With all the distractions in the media, we probably won't see it coming. Your gut tells you there's something very wrong going on, and all the evidence suggests that there is. Those in charge say everything's fine. Stop noticing. But you know better. American families are preparing. Folks are getting into self-reliance and investing in emergency food storage. My Patriot Supply, the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, is the place you can trust. Go to mypatriotsupply.com and secure their best-selling 3-month emergency food kits. Each contains tasty breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, averaging over 2,000 calories per day. Get at least one food kit for each family member. For a limited time, save 25%, plus get free shipping on all their 3-month emergency food kits. Go to mypatriotsupply.com today. Order by 3 p.m. and your items ship the same day. It's time to prepare for what's coming. mypatriotsupply.com.
One of the easiest things you can do to prevent getting stranded tomorrow is check your battery today. Hi, it's Laurie from Rex Battery. If you can take about 5 minutes out of your day, we can make absolutely sure your car battery is ready before winter. Just pull into Rex, and we'll not only test the battery, but we'll make sure your alternator is doing its important job. Just because your car is running well now doesn't mean it's going to start when the temp drops. If you find your battery is near the end of its life, Rex Battery has car batteries for every make and model on the road. And more often than not, we have them for less than other places. Batteries are all we do, and we want to make sure yours is strong before winter hits. Just pull into Rex Battery anytime and ask for a free battery test. Rex Battery, Clear Lake, west of Dirksen.
X with a double X battery. Generations of power.
Now, your dependable forecast on 92.7 WMAY.
Overcast today with scattered thunderstorms likely. Daytime highs approaching 71. South winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 58. Tonight, slight chance for scattered storms. A mix of clouds and sun. Tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 78. Chance for scattered storms. Friday, chance for scattered rain showers on Saturday. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Currently, it's 47.
If your checking account doesn't come with discounts and offers on goods and services, it's time to get More For You Checking. More For You Checking from Heartland Bank offers 24-hour roadside assistance, cell phone protection, identity theft aid, and discounts on prescriptions and much more. Wherever you go, More For You Checking benefits save you money on the things you're already paying for. Visit hbtbank.com and unlock the power of more. More For You Checking from Heartland Bank and Trust Company. Member FDIC.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Guess who's in charge of arranging the corporate event this year? Now, where to start?
Conn's Catering and Events has you covered. A quick call or visit with the experts at Conn's will save you time while making you look like an excellent planner.
Well, this event is a real monster. We'll need a bunch of options.
Like a customizable menu tailored to your specific needs and preferences?
That would be one easy solution.
From full-service events like the one you're planning to drop-off catering like a quick meal to feed the office, Conn's will have people complimenting you on on the excellent choices.
Sounds like this is going to be a permanent addition to my job description.
Because you're not settling for anything less than extraordinary. Give Cons a call. They'll help you turn the event into a complete success as you make that lasting impression on your clients, employees, and guests.
Call Angie at 217-523-4466 or visit Cons at conshg.com to set up your corporate dining experience today.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI Studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.
Well, we're back with the Council Roundup, Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY. If you're just catching the Council Roundup on your way to work this morning, made the announcement earlier, this is my last Council Roundup, as my last live day is Friday. Not typical for a radio host to say adios to his audience, but that's what I got to do. My full-time gig, responsibilities expanding, need to focus on that moving forward, and I just can't come in here for 3 hours every morning, let alone the time it takes away from me hanging out with my wife and just getting some good, important sleep. One message coming in from a listener says, congratulations, you're going to enjoy having some time to chill. WMAY is going to miss you. They go on to say that they've been listening since the first Saturday show, which was back in 2006. Saturday session. Holy cow, are those some memories. Also goes on to say that, so not a goodbye, but a good move. I like that. Not a goodbye, but a good move. So that's a good way to think about it. And you can still follow me. I'm still going to be producing content. It's just not going to be live. Per se. Sometimes it could be live, but still going to be news analysis and updates of what's going on in and around Illinois. So you can definitely do that and follow me with Bishop on Air, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and so on. But let's get back to the Council Roundup, where you had last night's Committee of the Whole. They're dealing with ordinances on first reading. One deals with how to address vehicles that might be taking part in pop-up block parties, and they're looking to possibly immobilize those. But Alderwoman Purchase has some questions
pertaining to vehicle immobilization and special events.
Move to consent.
Second.
Been properly moved in second to send this ordinance on to consent. Any discussion? Alderwoman Purchase.
Thank you, Chair. I think this would be a question for Chief Scarlett or Council. How much would those tickets be?
So the initial fine under this would be $200, but then once if it's $200 accumulated or unpaid, that's when the immobilization comes into effect. Depending on the violation, it could be more as well. This is more geared towards immobilizing.
Okay. Thank you.
Any more discussion?
Show $200 ticket if vehicles immobilized for being at a pop-up block party improperly, then they could face a $200 ticket. So that's been moved forward. We'll see how that advances next week. Alderman Donnellan has an ordinance dealing with the length of interim appointments.
As many of you may know, back probably about 6, 7, 8 months ago, the council at the time passed an ordinance shortening the term for interim appointments from 1 year to 90 days. And this ordinance, after conversation with Alderman Rockford, changes that from 90 days to 120. And to be full disclosure here, when I first proposed the 90-day ordinance, had a conversation with Corporation Counsel at the time, and he tried to talk me into 180 days. So this is kind of the middle ground. It seems that 90 days is really can put pressure on the executive branch, and that's not what the intent was. The intent was to make sure we didn't have, without council input, someone serving indefinitely. So this would be 120 days, and I appreciate your support. Thank you.
So, again, the idea was at first to just not have it open-ended for interim appointments, which has been the problem in previous administrations. So this, was 90 days. They're opening that back up. Next, more storm damage.
A supplemental appropriation in the amount of $2,022,316 for the offices of Mayor, Public Works, Fire, Police, Budget and Management, Economic Development, and Human Resources.
Move for consent.
All right, so $2 million for all kinds of reimbursements for the storm damage that was done. There's a lot there. So good to see that at least the coffers are full to be able to cover that. Moving on, they got another ordinance to deal with.
An ordinance authorizing a 3-year renewal of a professional services agreement with Sound Thinking Incorporated, formerly known as ShotSpotter Incorporated, for an annual resource router, formerly Connect, subscription services in the amount of $146,250 over a 3-year period for the Springfield Police Department.
Motion for debate.
Second.
So, ShotSpotter, they're looking to amend that contract moving forward and have it go on. Obviously, that's on debate for next week, so we'll hear about that particular issue. Now it's time for citizens.
And the fire department.
Alice Rainey, she's a regular at the city council who regularly raises issues with city council members, but she shared a recent experience she had with a medical emergency, and how she is just grateful for the emergency responders, including firefighters.
And the fire department was superb. And I just want to thank them personally up here, that they don't get enough thanks for what they do out there. First responders are there right then. They don't play around, they don't run away, they're there. And the firemen don't walk around and drink coffee. They go to the fire and fight it, or whatever is the case. They need to be thanked a little bit more often than some people are thanking them.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Definitely thank those first responders. Yeah, they get a paycheck to do it, but it's not easy work, no question. But Alice had something else she wanted to address. Unleashed dogs.
Would you mind finding a way to write a nice little thing that we can pass that would make the people that do not tie their dogs up or have a leash for them, let them run, that they get fined? It's about time.
Already there.
It's already in the books.
Well, they don't use it. It's like loafing in there somewhere, okay? They don't read it. We need to have it really, really, really. Because some of these, we got a pit bull that's running, and he has no collar, no nothing on him. And then we have a Rottweiler. And the Rottweiler is really big. I mean, it's a big dog. And the pit bull is kind of shorter than that. But they run around. I don't know who has them. I tried to follow in a way when they kept running away. I could not find where they went. So I don't know where they go. But we got to make it where the little girls don't get hurt, because we had 2 of them out there riding their bikes when both of them came. And it was kind of nervy. So if you can take care of that, Ward 3, I would appreciate it. And City Council, thank you very much, and have a beautiful night.
Good night. I'll have a discussion with the general corporate council.
Right on.
To figure out whose jurisdiction and what we can do, if we can. Thank you.
And we're glad you're back.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right.
I love how she's like, you sped up, got done with the thing, and have a good night. That's that. All right, so last night's meeting was less than 30 minutes. It's rare that we get a meeting less than 30 minutes, and that was recognized by the chair.
So, so there was some stalling tactic, or I would have had the record. But that's okay. That's okay.
Proctor's got the record.
Oh no, he don't.
Yeah, I think Proctor does have the record for it was like a 10-minute meeting or something. It was ridiculous. Oh boy, that's your council roundup. My last council roundup here with WMAY. Unless I come back in retirement, who knows? I mean, it's a good time. I'm Greg Bishop. Thank you so much for checking out the Council Roundup. Follow me anywhere. Bishop on air on X, on Facebook, on YouTube. I'm still going to be producing news content. I just can't come in here every morning for 3 hours as my other job continues to expand and grow. So I appreciate all of the years you guys have checked this program out. It's definitely bittersweet, and hopefully you dug the, if you're watching online, the wonderful Western shirts that my wife Megan got me just for this occasion of the last Council Roundup. All right, stay tuned. We will hear what happened at the Sangamon County Board with a citizen calling in to share details, all right? That's next. Right now, though, 7:50 from Culver's West on Wabash.
Culver's West on Wabash is hiring for all shifts and all positions. Apply today in person.
You've seen and heard the pitches for Zero Premium Advantage plans. They sound too good to be true, but they're not. Today's Advantage plan includes medical and prescription coverage, dental and vision and hearing benefits, and even no-cost gym memberships, and you get to keep all your doctors. Medicare's annual enrollment is October 15th through December 7th. Find out if an Advantage plan is right for you at Sullivan Financial. Make Medicare easy. Sullivan Financial of Chatham. Find us on Facebook or online at sullivanfinance.com.
And paid for by Linear Marketing Group. Are you drowning in debt? Are you struggling to make minimum payments? Did you know that on average, a household with at least one credit card struggles with over $17,000 in credit card debt? If this sounds like you, know that it's not your fault. Credit card debt happens to good people. Credit card companies lure you in with low introductory rates and low minimum payments. Before you know it, you're in over your head. We've helped thousands of good people just like you become debt-free with our Debt Reset program that will dramatically reduce your debt down to a fraction of what you owe. Our Debt Reset program is customized to get you debt-free in as little as 24 to 48 months with one low monthly payment. If you owe over $10,000 in credit card debt or even personal loans, call 800-480-7003 now. There are no upfront fees or out-of-pocket expenses. You don't pay a dime until we succeed. Call now to see how the Debt Reset program can work for you. 800-480-7003. That's 800-480-7003. Again, 800-480-7003.
Jesse Kelly here. Do you feel protected? My personal protection plan is owning gold. The Oxford Gold Group helps you buy gold to have on hand or convert it into your 401k. If things get weird, I have gold on hand. I like that. You can buy coins or convert part of your 401k with the Oxford Gold Group. It's easy and safe. 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD. 833-995-GOLD.
There are many reasons to buy a Verlo mattress. We've narrowed it down to the 8 great reasons to choose Verlo. Reason number 7, Verlo to go. With Verlo's bed in a box, you can easily take a queen or king mattress, load it into your car, and be on your way. Easy peasy. If you live out of town and prefer to have it shipped, we can do that. The best part, you can try it before you buy it. Quick, convenient, comfortable. For a list of all 8 great reasons and our current sale, Google us or like us on Facebook.
At Verlo, we custom make every mattress specific to your needs because having to dial in a special number for your side of the bed sounds like math. And nobody likes math, but everyone likes sleep. So let us make you a mattress that's perfectly customized for both of your needs. They want plush, you want firm, you got it. They like memory foam, you're more of the classic type. No problem. At Verlo, we have answers, not algebra. American made, locally crafted. Welcome to Verlo.
Rex with a double X battery. Generations of power.
Here's what we believe at Rex Battery. You should be able to find the right battery when you need it. Our company started when my dad needed a battery for his car and he built it himself. Today, more than 50 years later, we are still making sure you can find the right battery you need. And that includes the common batteries people use every day to the hard-to-find batteries used in big farm equipment. While online outlets are struggling with supply chain issues, we have shelves full of batteries. The best part is we're right here in town and ready to help today. Hearing aids, power tools, and the car in your garage. If it takes a battery, you can find the battery at Rex Battery, Clear Lake, just west of Dirksen.
Rex with a double X battery. Generations of power.
The trucks are out. Watch for a recycling event near you. The largest recycler in the area is taking all of your old computers and accessories and making the environment a better place. If you missed the event, no worries. Come to any of the 3 BLH locations and recycle them there. As an eSteward certified recycler, your information remains secure and safe in the trusted hands of BLH. In Jacksonville, Taylorville, Springfield, and at blhcomputers.com.
To protect her home and family in a disaster, Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop. Listen on demand at WMAY.com. 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk.
You know, one of the great things about live local talk radio is you get to crowdsource listeners who are also out on the street and engaged with what's going on. And we join now with a listener in particular who's been going to Sangamon County board meetings, which are also on Tuesday evenings, the same nights that city council meetings are. And Roseanne Polito, she joins us to talk about what happened at last night's Sangamon County board hearing where they had a meeting. Roseanne, thanks for taking time with us and give us all the details. What's up?
Okay, the highlights of last night's meeting are they granted a site approval permit in Pleasant Plains for another solar farm. And another thing was the Pillsbury project update. He said so far they have removed 300,000 tons of garbage and debris from the site, and he was there asking Sangamon County to chip in. Lastly, the proclamation honoring Gail O'Neill for her service to Sangamon County as the public health director. Out with the old, in with the new. They unanimously voted for John Ridley to become the new Sangamon County public health director. He grew up in the area. He's a military man, 30 years in medicine. And the thing I liked about him most is he owns 4 horses, 3 dogs, and 3 cats.
Well, right on. It's good to have those animal lovers as part of the health sector for Sangamon County. How long was the meeting? I mean, typically they're kind of in and out, aren't they?
It was a longer meeting because of the Pillsbury update, but that was very interesting.
Well, talk a little bit about that if you can. We've got about 2 minutes here.
Well, I had no idea they've already removed the 300,000 tons of garbage and debris. What I learned was that the city had given them $2 million for the removal of the lead and asbestos. But altogether, the whole big project's going to be about $9 million. So, they're looking around for different people to donate to that. But they've
got state dollars. They've got some federal dollars. They're trying to get different layers of government to get those tax dollars to be able to fund these things. Roseanne, thank you so much for taking time and going and staying engaged with the county board meetings. And I imagine you and I are going to cross paths again in the future. All right.
Thanks for all you do.
Appreciate that. It is Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. All right. Again, if you missed the announcement, today is my last council roundup. Friday's my last day. Trust me, we'll probably open things up Friday just to kick back and let you guys, shower me with accolades if you want. Already getting tons of it. Emails, text messages. Guys, it's humbling. There's no question. It is absolutely humbling. It's been a pleasure and an honor to be on these airwaves and to grow and expand. I'm still going to be doing news. I'm still going to be producing content. And you'll be able to follow me. Just search Bishop on Air. And you'll be able to stay tuned in that way. I just can't come to the radio show 3 hours every morning. It's a lot of work. And whoever does take this spot is it's a lot of work. You got to be passionate. You got to be gung-ho about it. So, we'll see how this all plays out. It's 8 o'clock. More to come. Stay tuned.
The Fly SPI Studios. Take the easy way out. WMAY FM, Taylorville. Springfield's News and Talk is 92.7 WMAY.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Jim Ryan. Israeli airstrikes have demolished entire neighborhoods. Hospitals are running low on supplies, and blackouts continue across Gaza. The death toll in the Middle East is at least 1,200 Israelis, more than 1,000 Palestinians. ABC News chief foreign correspondent Ian Pannell is along the border.
The U.S. says talks between Israel and Egypt about creating safe passage for some residents to leave are taking place. But the last remaining crossing out of Gaza was bombed by Israel yesterday. And for now, life inside Gaza is perilous.
President Biden will speak at a roundtable with Jewish community leaders today. The with relatives who are now being held hostage by Hamas. Tell ABC's David Muir what happened.
It seems like a bad movie, like a nightmare, something that's not realistic.
Lucy Schneider says he was horrified. He stumbled across chilling footage posted online showing his cousin, Shiri Vivas, and her 2 young children being taken prisoner. Vivas petrified, clinging to her 9-month-old and 3-year-old with heavily armed men surrounding her.
They're not warriors, they're not soldiers.
President Biden telling the nation and the world what Hamas did here in Israel is pure, unadulterated evil.
At least 14 Americans were killed in the attack. It's one of the biggest deals in the energy industry in decades. ExxonMobil is acquiring Pioneer Natural Resources in a stock deal worth $59 billion. The combined company will account for about 15% of gross production from the Permian Basin in West Texas. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen is optimistic about avoiding recession. Speaking today, she said,
I'm not saying that this soft landing is an absolutely sure thing, but I do continue to think it's the most likely path.
House Republicans remain in a stalemate over a new speaker. Will convene behind closed doors today to try to vote on a nominee. This is ABC News.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
All right, coming up this hour, we've got full disclosure with the Better Government Association after 8:30, business in the 217 with Michelle Ownby from the Springfield Business Journal, and also a conversation about the importance of early detection when it comes to breast cancer, something we've had to deal with in my home. But we'll talk with Dr. Emery from Aetna Better Health of Illinois about the significance of early detection and how that has to be top of mind for women and men alike. So stay tuned. Springfield's Morning News now 8:03 on WMAY.
News.
Weather.
92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story, Dorothy Hoffner is dead at the age of 104. The Chicago woman made news 10 days ago when she took a skydive that could put her in the Guinness Book of World Records as the oldest person to ever jump from a plane. According to reports, she died in her sleep Sunday night at the Lakeview Senior Living Community in Brookdale. Springfield Mayor Misty Buscher announced yesterday that the city of Springfield won a federal grant of nearly $900,000 from the U.S. Forest Service to plant 1,000 trees and to hire a community outreach arborist and 3 student worker arborists during the summer months over a 5-year period. Mayor Buscher said the tree planting funds and money for outreach staff are particularly important to the city after several hundred trees were damaged by storms earlier this year. Illinois Senator Dick Durbin's office announced that he underwent a successful total knee replacement surgery for his left knee. The procedure was performed Tuesday morning at Rush in Oak Brook, Illinois. Durbin will remain in Illinois until he is cleared for travel to Washington by his doctor. Monday was Indigenous Peoples Day in most of the country, where Native Americans celebrate their histories and cultures with events in all 50 states. In Augusta, Maine, several hundred people rallied outside the State House in support of a November 7th statewide vote that would restore language about the state's obligations to Native American tribes to printed versions of its constitution. Illinois and Missouri celebrate the holiday at the end of September. The Illinois Department of Children and Family Services provides free smoke alarms to families served by the department. DCFS has distributed more than 4,000 smoke alarms to families across Illinois, including nearly 900 this year. Illinois law requires every household to have smoke alarms within 15 feet of every bedroom and at least one on each floor of the home. Your WMAY dependable forecast is next on Springfield's News and Talk.
Academy Sports and Outdoors is the sporting goods store that's all about fun. And a new location is coming to Springfield. With great brands at the best prices, you'll always find the gear you need to play the games you love and enjoy your favorite outdoor activities with your favorite people. Academy has it all in store and online. No matter how you have fun out there, your next adventure starts here. Your new Academy Sports and Outdoors store is coming soon to Springfield. Until then, check out academy.com.
Looking for a bank that's more than just a place to keep your money? Clock Tower Community Bank, a division of Morton Community Bank, combines your love of community with trusted financial expertise. Local people making local decisions for local successes. With full-service personal and business banking and lending of all types, Clock Tower Community Bank is everything you want in a community bank. Stop by one of our 6 convenient locations in Springfield and Chatham today, or visit us on the web at hometownbanks.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Guess who's in charge of arranging the corporate event this year? Now, where to start?
Conn's Catering and Events has you covered. A quick call or visit with the experts at Conn's will save you time while making you look like an excellent planner.
Well, this event is a real monster. We'll need a bunch of options.
Like a customizable menu tailored to your specific needs and preferences?
That would be one easy solution.
From full-service events like the one you're planning to drop-off catering like a quick meal to feed the office, Conn's will have people complimenting you on the excellent choices.
Sounds like this is going to be a permanent addition to my job description.
Because you're not settling for anything less than extraordinary. Give Conn's a call. They'll help you turn the event into a complete success as you make that lasting impression on your clients, employees, and guests.
Call Angie at 217-523-4466 or visit Cons at conshg.com to set up your corporate dining experience today.
Now, your dependable forecast on 92.7 WMAY.
Cloudy skies expected today with scattered thunderstorms likely. Highs around 71, south winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Slight chance for scattered storms. Tonight, lows level off around 58, partly cloudy. Tomorrow, high temperatures reach up to 78. Chance for scattered storms. Friday, chance for scattered rain showers on Saturday. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Currently, it's 49.
Weather sponsored by BLH Computers in Springfield, Jacksonville, and Taylorville. Online at blhcomputers.com.
And paid for by Linear Marketing Group. Are you drowning in debt? Are you struggling to make minimum payments? Did you know that on average, a household with at least one credit card struggles with over $17,000 in credit card debt? If this sounds like you, know that it's not your fault. Credit card debt happens to good people. Credit card companies lure you in with low introductory rates and low minimum payments. Before you know it, you're in over your head. We've helped thousands of good people just like you become debt-free with our Debt Reset program that will dramatically reduce your debt down to a fraction of what you owe. Our Debt Reset program is customized to get you debt-free in as little as 24 to 48 months with one low monthly payment. If you owe over $10,000 in credit card debt or even personal loans, call 800-480-7003 now. There are no upfront fees or out-of-pocket expenses. You don't pay a dime until we succeed. Call now to see how the Debt Reset program can work for you. 800-480-7003. That's 800-480-7003. Again, 800-480-7003.
From local town councils to Capitol Hill, agents who are realtors are standing up for what's right. We're here protecting property rights. Here advocating for the issues that affect our neighborhoods. Here championing fair and equitable housing for all. Because we are realtors, bound by a code of ethics, driven to serve our communities. We're here for it all. Here for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
A psoriasis flare-up can make a walk in the park, well, no walk in the park.
It's that obvious, huh? I've tried so many lotions and creams, but I still have symptoms.
So those don't do enough to treat the inflammation beneath the skin, leaving you with those uncontrolled symptoms.
Makes sense, but what else can I do?
You can get real with your dermatologist so they can help you get clear. Make an appointment and, you're already on it.
Hi, yes, I'd like to make an appointment.
Get real clear about psoriasis at letsgetrealclear.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Here's one thing that psychologists and therapists believe to be a key step to achieving better mental health: meditation. It starts with proper breathing. By breathing in slowly for 5 or 10 seconds and exhaling, counting the same way, for just a few minutes each day has been a big deal for many people as they reach a new level of relaxation. Now, that's just a start. If your feelings of depression and hopelessness are accentuated with drugs and alcohol, then you may need some professional help. The team of nurses, counselors, physicians, and psychiatrists at Gateway Foundation understand that. They know what you're going through, and they can show you the way out. Gateway also uses meditation as a key component of their successful treatment. Your insurance covers the cost, and the Family Medical Leave Act protects your job. If your situation appears hopeless, make the confidential call to Gateway at 877-505-HOPE and start feeling better today. Gateway Foundation. Addiction medicine, saving lives.
Some people would call him a loser. He ran for state office. He was beaten. He started a business. He failed. He ran for Congress. He lost. He was nominated for vice president. He lost again. But he knew only those who never tried are the real losers. And Abraham Lincoln was no loser. Persistence. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.
Breast cancer impacts 1 out of every 8 women. Think about that. That's a significant amount of the population out there. Men are not immune from breast cancer diagnoses either. It's something that's hit my house. My wife being diagnosed with breast cancer at the beginning of the pandemic. It's been a lot to have to deal with. And a lot of other individuals out there dealing with similar things, but there is help, and there's importance to getting early detection in. Megan's not even 40 years old and having to deal with the diagnosis. And it's one of those things that just compounds on you. But having the proper support and the knowledge that you got to it before it was too late, that can work wonders. To talk more about this is Dr. Emery. She is Chief Medical Officer at Aetna Better Health of Illinois, to really kind of give us the latest when it comes to early detection, the importance of it, and also her personal story about dealing with breast cancer. Doctor, thanks for taking time with us this morning. How you doing out there?
Sure. Good morning. I'm doing well, thank you. And I'm sorry to hear about your wife.
She's doing fantastic, and I tell you, it's the early detection that means everything. And it's actually something that I myself, I felt on her breast and was like, that doesn't feel right. It was right before the lockdowns, and something that she took it upon herself, and I'm so thankful that even though people were told to stay home, she didn't. She went in, got that diagnosis, and marched forward. And we're happy to report she's doing fantastic. So
wonderful.
But talk about the early detection and how important and crucial it is.
Sure. Well, just like, your experience, it's important to be aware of your breast, to be able to notice if you have any changes. So skin changes, if you feel a mass, if you have any nipple discharge, or if they just look different, so sometimes there can be pulling, the nipple can become inverted. So it's just important that women, and men and their partners are aware of what the breasts, look like baseline, and then if there are any changes, to make sure to go to your doctor and get checked out, because we are finding cancer earlier and earlier, unfortunately.
And these are things that it's not easy to contend with. It's something that can bring a lot of dread, but it's important to note that the medical professionals are there, and I'm telling you, it's like miracles that are being performed right now, to where even stage 4 is being considered just a chronic disease. It's no longer that death sentence that it may have been just a handful of years ago.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that has to do with the newer medications. There are medications that are targeted for different diseases in terms of different kinds of breast cancer. So there are different kinds of breast cancer based on the type of cells that are involved. But basically, it's where the cells start growing too fast and in a disordered way. And that's what causes, the mass. But a lot of breast cancer is being picked up, because women are getting their screenings and it's being found in an earlier stage. So that was the case for me. So mine was found at a very early stage, and I was able to, be treated with surgery and radiation. Didn't have to have chemo based on the type of cancer I had, but I myself have been through that, and I know there are members of my family who are going through that now. So I know your journey in terms of your wife's story. But the key again is to make sure to get screened. We want women to start getting screened by age 50, at least once every 2 years. At Aetna Better Health of Illinois, we actually cover screening starting at age 40. And for our members, we will actually give an incentive, a $25 incentive for them to get the mammogram every year because we know it's so important.
No question. And this is obviously something that you have to talk with your spouse about, and husbands. Don't be afraid to say something if you feel something that's not right. It's extremely important.
Exactly. I also wanted to let your listeners know about an event we're having October 17th on Tuesday at the Salvation Army at 1600 East Clear Lake in Springfield. And that'll be from 10 to 12:30. And so there'll be a lot of information about breast cancer awareness at that event. So we really want folks to come out to get that information. So everyone is welcome.
October 17th, Salvation Army there off of Clear Lake here in Springfield. Be sure to take part in that and get the information you need for yourself, for your loved ones. And note that early detection really does save lives. It's something that the earlier you can detect this, the quicker you can get a diagnosis and then start on those treatments. And those treatments, as Dr. Emery from Aetna Better Health of Illinois highlighting, are revolutionary. And I imagine, Dr. Emery, things are only going to get better when it comes to the treatments for breast cancer.
Yes, that's what we're hoping. And, with more and more research being done on different groups of people, we're finding targeted treatments for people. And again, as long as it's found early, it's a lot easier to treat. So thank you so much for having me and for allowing me to spread the word.
Absolutely. And don't forget about that event, October 17th, at Salvation Army here in Springfield off of Clear Lake. They'll have an event. And what was the time of that event again?
From 10 to 12:30.
All right, so make that happen. Greatly appreciated. Dr. Emery, Chief Medical Officer at Aetna Better Health of Illinois. Have a great day, all right? We'll talk again, I'm sure, soon.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
It is Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. And coming up, we've got Business in the 217 with the Springfield Business Journal. Right now, though, it's 8:18. I'm Greg Bishop. Let's take a look at that forecast where today we've got a possibility of some showers with a high of around 71, low down to 58 with the chance of showers continuing. Thursday, sunny with a high of 78, and then Friday, showers likely with a high of 71. It's overcast right now, about 48 degrees at 8:18 for Culver's West on Wabash.
Deliver smiles, butter burgers, fresh custard, and great service. Culver's West on Wabash is hiring for all positions.
Hi, this is Dr. Brad Schaefer. As a podiatrist, I can tell you no two people's feet are alike, which is why I recommend Dr. Scholl's custom fit orthotic inserts. They're customized for your feet, so you get a unique solution your feet really need. Not just a one-size-fits-all insole. They're clinically proven to provide pain relief for achy feet, knees, lower back, plantar fasciitis, and heels. Take the Dr. Scholl's custom fit orthotics assessment in Walmart today, now in the foot care aisle.
Do you have an invention idea but don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp today. We have representatives nationwide who will explain the InventHelp process step by step. Over 10,000 patents have been secured through InventHelp's patent referral services. The InventHelp data bank includes thousands of companies who have agreed to review new ideas. We've been helping inventors since 1984. Let's help you next. Get started today.
Call 1-800-217-4380. That's 1-800-217-4380. Again, 1-800-217-4380.
Are you putting your retirement savings in a 401k or IRA? Then I have one word of advice. Stop. You've been lied to by the Wall Street fat cats who get paid whether you win or lose. They say risk your life savings in the stock market, but studies show people who follow that advice will outlive their savings by a staggering 10 years. They say max out your contributions to 401ks, but the man who invented the 401k now says it's a monster that should be destroyed. They say defer paying your taxes to retire in a lower tax bracket, but retirees who fell for that lie are paying higher taxes than ever. Now get a free report exposing the wealth-killing lies you've been told, and discover the proven retirement plan alternative Wall Street fat cats hope you never hear about. You can get guaranteed competitive growth every year and tax-free retirement income. Get your free report now at bankonyourself.com/save. That's bankonyourself.com/save. bankonyourself.com/save.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You need a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club.
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Regan, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Hey, it's Breeze Airways, the seriously nice airline that wants to fly you to your next vacation. Fly nonstop from Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport in Springfield to Orlando and Tampa Bay, faster and easier than ever before. We don't charge change or cancellation fees, so you can book with complete peace of mind. Go to flybreeze.com or download the Breeze app to book your trip. Breeze Airways, seriously nice.
Take Springfield's morning news with Greg Bishop everywhere with the free WMAY mobile app. 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's news and talk.
Well, as we do each and every Wednesday at this time, it's time for a look at what's going on in and around the business community. And joining me, as always, is Springfield Business Journal publisher Michelle Ownby for Business in the 217. Michelle, thanks for taking time with us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Greg.
So one thing I was able to take part in last night was a soft opening for a new tavern that's actually in Vinegar Hill Mall. Establishments. It's got a whole bunch of different, spaces all throughout. And I tell you, Trish and Mary's that Conn's Hospitality's put together, it's wonderful. And the soft opening last night, they're really transforming that Vinegar Hill Mall facility. And I'm excited to see what else they're going to be putting out there. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so you got a little sneak preview, but as you said, the Court and Karen Kahn, since they purchased that Vinegar Hill property, have really been going gangbusters with just getting it cleaned up and renovated. And this is the first of what I expect will be numerous business ventures to launch in that complex. As you said, Trish and Mary's is a British-style pub, so they will have English and different types of European beers. And when I spoke with Karen yesterday, she said it's really more about the atmosphere. They're doing an indoor beer garden, and they're actually renovating the inside of that Vinegar Hill complex so that it sort of looks like different storefronts at street level. So the next couple things in the works is they've partnered with Lincoln Land Winery, which currently has their production facility in Peoria. They're going to be relocating that to the former Pawn King space, and then they're building a tasting room just adjacent to that. So you'll be able to watch the production and then also try samples from the different wineries and products that they're producing there. And of course, William Vans is going to be making a comeback. They had announced when they closed the 7th Street location to make room for the cidery that would be temporary. So she said they're hoping even by the end of the year to have William Vans open in the former Holy Land Diner space. And then, of course, they're going to be building out a commercial kitchen as well, because Trish and Mary's is really a pub. They'll have some snack food items, but not a restaurant per se. But they do plan to open a restaurant in that space as soon as they get the commercial kitchen built out, which is a pretty big undertaking.
It's a lot of activity going on there inside. People will be able to see it inside when they go and check out Trish and Mary's opening up Friday, I believe. I'll actually be heading back out there for that. But interesting note, one of my good friends, Marisa, her mother is Mary of Trish and Mary's. And had recently passed away, so that's why we got to kind of take part in that soft opening. But Karen, showing us all of what's going on there at Vinegar Hill Mall. And it feels like you're in a different country, quite frankly. It feels like you're walking through the narrow streets of some European, tourist area. They're doing a fantastic job. I can't wait for all the different facilities that they're going to retrofit, and it's just going to be a wonderful addition, especially just south of the Capitol and all the activity there. It's really exciting what they've got going on there. Give us what's next up on the docket for business in the 217.
Well, unfortunately, this is more on the sad side of things, but a changeover in the restaurant world. Motto Pies and Pints, which was a venture from 3Gen Hospitality Group. That's Dan and Nikki Sperry and Justin Richardson, who also have Vele, Curate, and then the Soleil Cafe over at Springfield Clinic. That is going to be closing as of October 16th. They just opened in February, but say that their location over there on South 6th Street is unsustainable. That's the former Rosati's Pizza space, but it's in the little strip center right next to Hertz rental cars. And in a Facebook post yesterday, they said between the rental cars taking up their parking and some ongoing issues with the landlord over the property itself, they've decided that is just not a good fit. They did hold out hope that it may reopen in the near future at a different location, but nothing firm just yet. So for right now, you've got until Monday to get out there if you have not tried their pizza, wings, or beer, which are the three things that they're best known for.
We just picked up a couple of pizzas the other day. We took friends there after having some clams at SOB Fest. It's a great, unique flavor. I would definitely get out there, check out the goat cheese pizza. They also have this Boom Boom pizza. It's like shrimp and that Boom Boom sauce. Good stuff. Michelle, next up on the agenda here, we've got Land O'Lakes Goodwill doing some things.
Yes, a location in Chatham has a new facility under construction. They're currently in that plaza with County Market and have been for quite some time, but they're building a new 17,000 square foot retail store just to the north of that they hope to have open by November. Now, this one won't have a coffee shop or anything extra with it. It's just going to be strictly retail. And instead of having a separate boutique, they say the items will just be mixed in. But Chatham, as you might imagine, is a pretty good location for them, both in terms of donations and sales. So they're building this larger facility and said it will also give them the opportunity to do more workforce training and put some of their clients to work in the new store. So wish them well with that.
And then 15 under 15, you've got Small Business Awards scheduled for next week. Tell us about that.
Yes, just a reminder, if you have not RSVP'd yet, always a great networking opportunity. And chances are, if you look through the list of this year's 15 under 15, you'll probably see some familiar names. So if you want to come out and show your support, there is a cocktail reception and award ceremony next Thursday, October 19th, and that is at the United Community Bank headquarters on Montvale. They have been the sponsor for the event for 21 years now, so one of our very long-standing events. And that's an after-work cocktail hour reception and then the award ceremony. So you can just email info@springfieldbusinessjournal.com if you want to RSVP to that.
Greatly appreciates your work, as always, keeping an eye on what's going on in and around the Springfield business community. Michelle Ownby, publisher of the SBJ. How can people get their hands on the latest?
Well, if you go to the website at springfieldbusinessjournal.com, you can sign up for Biz Bites. That's our newsletter that comes out every Wednesday afternoon, and it's free of charge. You can also sign up to get the full-blown print edition delivered directly to your home or office.
So make that happen. Michelle Ownby, publisher of the Springfield Business Journal, greatly appreciate you, and I imagine we'll talk again soon.
All right. Thanks, Greg.
It is Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. All right, stay tuned. We got full disclosure coming your way next. But right now at 8:30, we got to check what's going on over in the WMAY newsroom.
92.7 WMAY.
Here are the 3 big things you need to know.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story, Springfield Mayor Misty Buscher announced yesterday that the city of Springfield